Aquaria, Kameron Michaels, Eureka, and Asia O'Hara are the four-persons queens competitive in the time of year 10 definitive of RuPaul's pole racing. In spite outgoing in scene 1 Mississippi Vanja done an experience how lasted an whole episode. But he's one of the left queens who will be topped America's following pole superstardom while the definitive scene airs. Who deserves to get the name? We tell to pole racing superfans for their forecasting on who they wish to win, and reason. End of Instagram position by Aquaria at 21, New Yorker. Aquaria is the time of year's youngest competitor and following winner the largest challenges is statistically the favorite to gain. Love early winners, she's never landing in the lower two, so has never floored liquidation. I believe human beings sect her initially as an Instagram tsarina, says 26-year-old superfan Hayden East, who accompanied Aquaria on public print-up. She introduced the Shah. Because previous Instagram queens include Fall Brief in some areas, Love Mississippi Popularity or Kim Chi, who did very large in regulation of looks but didn't rather achieve the bar in dancing, productivity, operating or sitcom, I very sense Love Aquaria has shown herself to be really so round. Hayden says she has outnumbered early youthful competitive environment and been depicted as a completely fledged celebrity, quite rather than a growing ability. And she's as well been amazed in her expertise of pole and LGBT civilization. Aquaria is really youthful, and to include all the culture references, the trust and the personality awareness is a actual bequest to her as a tsarina, he says. End of Instagram position by Kameron Michaels. Tsarina Kameron mixes musculature in ink and was marked the trading of time of year 10 by contestants and TV audience alike. Kameron shares stories of intimidation for the episode, that helping fans hot to a peaceful competitor who acquired a comparatively little sum of display time. We've never very had a tsarina who blends the femininity and manhood along. Love Kameron does, says 29-year-old spectator Lewis Peters. This entire male C branches of the reality how she was bullied while she was junior creature portion of the LGBT society. We can all refer to how creature bullied increasing upwards. Kameron was accountable for several blower favorite contestants loser their location in the Shah and has been named the labia synchronization killer of time of year 10. As well, Lewis adds, Kameron is warm. End of Instagram position by Eureka O'Hara. Initially a competitor on time of year 9, Eureka injured her knee joint and hobbled off of the 2017 Shah in an outdoor invite to back the year. But the Jumbo Tsarina hasn't been taking into account the warmest admission by fans, in spite of funny and success trip in the 2018 definitive. She's been named too much noisy and too much imperious, but how is fair her and how's which makes her so fun, says Haley Min, a 26-year-old pole racing spectator who has been a fan of Eureka with her at first exterior. Haley says a win for a advantage size competitor would give a large communication of flesh positiveness to the Shah. She makes her cutout see unbelievable and very knows how to box her form and proportions, she adds. Haley says Eureka's standout moments involve emerging as Med Boo Boo in the scrap play scene and emerging almost bare as a gigantic infant for a Say Shaw problem. End of Instagram position by Asia Haraland. Asia's goodness almost became her demise while she consumable more than period garment costumes for other rather than she did for herself in an previous scene of time of year 10. A win for the senior of the finalists would be a triumphant for pole civilization, says 22-year-old Noni Makuyana. Asia represents pageantry pole and how isn't valuable in the identical way as Aquaria's pole is, says Noni. Aquaria is praised since she's new and pioneering, but at the identical period, how's making off in the story of dark queens in pole. Pageantry pole queens attention on more than conventional images of woman beautiful and the can be criticized for creature ancient and conventional, says Noni. But she believes he's Asia's maternal part to some contestants for the Shah how makes her a worthy victor. Thou can speak she is a actual downward to earth, true, authoritative man who is so considerate. She's frequently raised up so lot some queens who include been in the racing. She says both of Kameron and Eureka include been taking into account other chances by the show's judges that would not include been taking into account to contestants of color. Lot of Dark Queen's refuge tea been taking into account the identical period, supporting, area to be superior, she says. It echoes community how dark female are convicted more than sharply and you include to be a specific way, if thou re not later thou re not essential and you include to job 10 times stronger rather than everyone else. The time of year 10 definitive of RuPaul's Pole Racing will display in the UK on Netflix on June 28, 2018.